My name is Dominic Brooks. I am the Ombudsman for the Atlantic and Cape May County Superior Court. Meet the Court Live is a summer weekly series of webinars via Zoom to inform the public about a variety of court programs, services, and more. The presentation today will provide general information and feature a question and answer at the end. You may submit general non-case specific questions at any point via the Q&A function in your Zoom app, and I will address them at the end as long as time permits. This is a Zoom webinar, so your cameras and microphone will not be usable. Also, please note that this series is a product of the Atlantic and Cape May County vicinage of the Superior Court of New Jersey, and some information may be unique to this vicinage. Be sure to check with your own county vicinage for any information specific to them. Today's presentation will cover the Office of the Ombudsman, my office, and as well as our Court User Resource Center, and I will serve as the presenter for today's session. We hope you enjoyed today's session, and let's begin. So this obviously is pertaining to the Office of the Ombudsman, but what exactly is an ombudsman? So the word ombudsman, it comes from a Swedish term meaning representative of the people. So traditionally, an ombudsman is a public advocate. They often advocate for their respective users. In prison, for example, there is the Department of Corrections ombudsman. They act as an advocate for inmates of the correctional system concerning living conditions, abuse, bias, and other issues. You also have the state of New Jersey's long-term care ombudsman. They investigate allegations of abuse or neglect of elders living in nursing homes and other long-term care facilities. The Superior Court ombudsman, on the other hand, while we can't advocate for court users, we do work to serve people in other ways. The Superior Court Ombudsman provides a bridge between the courts and community to enhance public access to and fairness within the courts and improve customer service. We have our own mission statement as well. And before I go to the next slide to review the mission statement, you can see on the right-hand side of the screen, the Judiciary Ombudsman Program. That's a snapshot of our brochure, which you can also access by the QR code listed here. If you're on a mobile device, you can take a screenshot of this, and whether you're using Apple products or Google or Android phone products, you should be able to access the link from the QR code there. So the Office of the Ombudsman's mission statement. So our mission statement is to promote an environment of continuous improvement in areas of customer service and equal court access in compliance with court policies and procedures by establishing effective mechanisms for public information, community relations, and court user assistance. And we'll cover each of these more in depth in just a moment. Just some brief history about the Ombudsman Program. The program started as a pilot program in 1997, and by 2005, every court vicinage had an ombudsman in place. So when it comes to public information, as a court system, it's very important that we are as transparent as we can be. This also extends to information about court programs, services, and operations. We want to ensure that the public has full access to and awareness of this information, whether it is what the Ombudsman Office does, what probation is doing to create safe communities, changes in the way we do business, or what services are available to the public, whether that is disability accommodations through our ADA or our interpreters unit, as you can see through this broadcast. So in recent years, we've had two huge examples of the need for this public information. We had COVID, which shut down not just the courts, but the entire country, the entire world, which resulted in the need for us to provide information to the public about how they can still conduct their court business in the new climate where we were all home. The second of those two huge examples is criminal justice reform. During the criminal justice reform rollout and leading up to it, which took effect January 1st, 2017 in the state of New Jersey, there was a mass need for information being provided to the public to explain just what criminal justice reform was, why we saw a need for it, and also to provide any answers to any questions that people may have had about the program. On the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see a screenshot of the New Jersey Court's Facebook profile. We have profiles on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and more. And we use those to provide this information to the public. The Ombudsman's office and the respective county vicinages all provide our administrative office of the courts, social media department with this information. So when it comes to community relations in recent times, the New Jersey courts have put forth a lot more effort as a court system, as well as respective to our own Atlantic and Cape May County Superior Court, to meet the people where they are. We want to meet the needs of the public where possible and make sure that we are engaging with the public. So as some examples you see on the screen, that involves community outreach, whether that is a community resource fair or a community partners outreach events. We try to make sure that we are established at those events with a table that provides information about the court programs and services that we provide. That extends specific to our Atlantic and Cape May County Superior Court, our Atlantic City Bus Station program. During this program, staff from the Atlantic and Cape May County Superior Court operate out of the Atlantic City bus terminal to provide services to court users there as well. As far as school partnerships, through our community engagement team that I, as the Ombudsman, co-chair, our FACE team, we are able to establish connections with schools from the One Judge, One School program, in which we pair Superior Court judges with area schools, predominantly high schools, to make a connection in which the judges will go to those area schools to provide them with information about the court system and just engage with the students there. And we also have students come to visit our superior courthouses, sometimes observing court cases that are open to the public, and other events as well related to those. We often partner with...
También ofrecemos alianzas.
So we often partner with other community organizations to assist with expungements. For example, back in just a couple weeks ago, we partnered with an organization in Cape May County to provide expungement assistance, where we send members of our staff to assist court users with filing for criminal records expungements. We have other special events, and then finally our court user satisfaction survey. True engagement means two-way communication. We want to know when you have a great experience with the courts, as well as when it's poor. We use that survey to correct issues that we may see within our court system to make sure that we are, again, meeting the needs of the public. So when it comes to court user assistance, the last of those three from our mission statement, we can provide a number of services. So we can provide court information. We can provide court users with general information on anything regarding the court, including publications and about various programs and services. Forms, we provide procedural guidance to court users on how to complete court forms. In some circumstances, we also provide what's called forms assistance, where we essentially sit with court users and guide them through the form that they are filling out to answer any questions that they may have about those forms, which can be complicated. We also provide procedural assistance, which can be as simple as letting people know what the next step in the process after their initial pleading is, or how they can respond and answer to a complaint made against them. We provide resources and referrals. We often collect information from community partner agencies and provide that to court users as needed. Judiciary Electronic Document Submission System Help, also known as JEDS. We provide assistance to court users in navigating our electronic document submission system so that they can submit their court documents and court forms online without needing to have to come to the courthouse or mail that information in. And then finally, complaint remediation. We address the concerns of court users when it involves customer service or access issues. The Ombudsman office in any of the counties around the state of New Jersey, we engage in complaint remediation. So just as there are some things that we can provide, there are a number of things that we cannot. So your local ombudsman's office, and this also transcends to any court employee. We cannot provide legal advice or recommend a lawyer. We cannot file documents on your behalf. We cannot assist with legal research. We cannot communicate with a judge about your case outside of your court proceedings. We cannot change a judge's order. We cannot complete your financial forms. We cannot tell you how to argue or defend your case. Or we cannot accompany you to a court proceeding. So my predecessor always told court users that you are your own best advocate. With that said, I am not an attorney. Even if I was, I'm not allowed to give you any legal advice. Like any other court staff, I have to remain impartial to preserve the integrity of the court system. And as I mentioned, we do often work with other organizations in the community, our community partners. Many of those agencies can provide some of those advocacy services that my office cannot or court staff cannot, such as Legal Services of New Jersey, or in our case, South Jersey Legal Services branch of Legal Services of New Jersey, to assist with legal representation and legal aid. Also, we have organizations in the area that specifically work with domestic violence victims as far as advocate services. And we also have statewide programs like the Community Health Law Project, which can work with disabled individuals to assist them with their legal service needs. So now I want to talk about our court user resource centers, which the Ombudsman, in my case at least, I oversee our court user resource centers. So once again, I'd just like to say that I did say it earlier that this is unique to the Atlantic and Cape May County Superior Court, and you should reach out to your own local ombudsman for any inquiries about a local court user resource center to you. So what is the Court User Resource Center? So our Court User Resource Centers, and you can see on the two images here, the top image is our Atlantic County Civil Courts Building Court User Resource Center in our Atlantic City building. On the bottom is our Cape May County Superior Court User Resource Center, located on the lower level of the courthouse, and I'll share more location information in a second. So what is the Court User Resource Center? It's staffed by the Ombudsman's office. So my staff, predominantly, we operate out of the Atlantic County Civil Courts building. You can receive court user assistance, as I previously mentioned, whether that's just simply information, whether that's forms assistance. You can inquire about any court information. We provide resources and referrals once again, technology assistance. In our vicinage, we also provide printing and copying services up to a certain page limit, at which point there is a 5-cent per page charge beyond that. And you have access to law books. So if you wanted to do your own legal research, you're more than welcome to reach out to our Court User Resource Center or inquire with your own local ombudsman's office on whether your vicinage has a law library at this point. Once again, we cannot assist with the use of those books. but we simply do, we do have them to your use. So as far as our locations, our court user resource centers, once again, in Atlantic County for the Atlantic County Superior Court, we're located in Atlantic City at the Atlantic County Civil Courts Building. We are on the first floor in the West Wing. If you see court staff or any of our sheriff's officers, you can ask them and they will direct you on how to get to our office. In Cape May County, we are in the Cape May County Courthouse. We are on the lower level, law library. As soon as you come into the building, you'll see our location down the stairs. As far as the Cape May County, we do operate here part-time. I'll explain more on the next slide. So when it comes to contacting the Ombudsman's office and Court User Resource Center, so you have a few options. You can come in person. We have daily staffing in our Atlantic City location. We see a lot more foot traffic there, which is why we operate out of that office specifically. We have part-time staffing in Cape May, typically Tuesdays and Thursdays, but you can always contact us to see when we will be there next. We are always available via phone. You see our main number for the Atlantic and Cape May County Superior Court there, 609-402-0100. And my office, the Ombudsman's office extension is 47230. And the Court User Resource Center extension is 47220. You can also reach out to us via email, which you see on the screen. And you can also send us mail correspondence to the Court User Resource Center, or you can address it to the Office of the Ombudsman at the Atlantic County Civil Courts Building, and that works for both counties. Is one thing I will note about our phone system. So we do operate on a callback system. As I mentioned, we have a lot of foot traffic in our Atlantic City location, and we do try to attend to their needs first. So if you do contact us, you will be asked to leave a voicemail. Similar to the voicemail, our emails, you'll typically receive a response within one business day, or and oftentimes it's a lot shorter of a time frame, but we will get to you within one business day. And I do want to note that emergent issues should still be discussed with the relevant divisions, because of if you're reaching out to us by phone or email, there is a time differential on when we will get to your message. So if you do have an immediate concern regarding court that's either happening today or the next day, you should still contact our main number and navigate to the division that has your case, whether it is civil, whether it's family, whether it's criminal. So at this time, I'll see if there are any questions. Once again, you can utilize the Q&A function, which you should see on your screen. You may need to click the more icon to see the Q&A function. I do see one question. I'll take a look at that and I'll see if any more come in. Okay, thank you. That was the question that I do see that I did mention was more of a tech issue. So thank you for that. Okay, I'll pause. I'll give it another minute to see if any questions do come in. And while I'm waiting for that, I would just like to say before we get close to wrapping today's session, we're actually one slide away. I would say that the Ombudsman's office is rooted in our organizations, one of our organizations, excuse me, core messages, which is we want to instill access and fairness throughout our system. We want to make sure that court users feel respected when they come to us, that they're treated courteously. We want to make sure that we are acting in a manner that not only that we know is neutral, but that the public understands and perceives is neutral, so that people feel as though they're treated fairly. We want to make sure that court users feel that they can trust their court system. Confidence in the court system is very important. And we want to make sure that people feel as though that they have a voice when they come to court, whether it's their day in court, whether it's speaking with court staff at a window, whether it's in my office, the Office of the Ombudsman, or our court user resource centers. Okay, I'm not seeing any other questions, so I'm going to advance to our last slide. So I would just like to thank everyone for watching today. Thank you for watching today's presentation. Thank you to our Spanish interpreter for interpreting this session live for any of our limited English proficient viewers. So we would love to receive feedback about this program. Using the QR code on the screen, please take a moment to answer a brief survey about today's program. It is brief, I promise. You will receive the link via email after the session ends as well, if you do need the link, as well as a flyer for the remaining webinar topics. If you're looking for more information on this series, please contact my office at the email address shown. I just want to thank everyone again for viewing, and that concludes today's event.